It's the time of the season when love runs high. In this time, give it to me easy and let me try with pleasured hands to take you in the sun to promised lands, to show you everyone. It's the time of the season for loving. What's your name? Who's your daddy? Is he rich like me? Has he take us anytime to show you what you need to live? Tell it to me slowly, tell you why I really want to know. It's the time of the season for loving. What's your name? Who's your daddy? Is he rich like me? Has he taken anytime to show you what you need to live? Tell it to me slowly, tell you why I really want to know. It's the time of the season for loving.
All right, guys. Hello. Good evening. This is High Priestess Jamila. Welcome to 1EQ, my sister. And then we got Mary Wiley in here. Hello. Hello. So this will be a quick message. And if you guys have any questions, you can definitely post them in the chat. I know that I definitely won't be here long because I am tired. I only got like 3 hours of sleep. And I'm just ready to lay down and take a nap and go to sleep. But I wanted to give you guys a warning about frequencies. This would include subliminal frequencies, isochronic frequencies, binaural beats, reiki frequencies, okay? And you know what? I am not in any way discounting those frequencies. I'm not. I think that they are great for certain circumstances. In particular, the frequencies where you may have a subliminal or either a chant of a certain deity, which it's better for you to do your own chanting. But, I'm talking about the ones where It's supposed to clear you of negativity. There's some out there that are take back your power frequencies, beauty subliminals, weight loss subliminals, um, unhexing subliminals, stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get some sleep tonight. Okay. Seriously. Mm-hmm. Some good sleep. So I think that those frequencies are great. I think that you want to be very careful and listen to your body sometimes, and not even your body, but listen to your intuition when you're listening to some of them. But I am actually subscribed to several of those channels where they play those frequencies, and I think that they're great. Okay. Here's the problem: a lot of them are temporary. There's a couple of problems. I'm going to go over the first issue. You really need to do research prior to listening to those frequencies, because there may be there's delta frequencies, there's solfeggio frequencies, there's binaural beats, there's isochronic tones, there's all sorts of different frequencies out there. So you need to know which one you need before you just listen to it. Okay. And sometimes your spirit guides will actually, you know, show the, which is kind of weird and scary, but I think it's more so sometimes your spirit guides may show you that. Like they'll just pop up one in your home feed. And I think that they're great, but just find out which ones you need at that time. Here's the big reason. I understand that they are cheap, they're free, but they're temporary. And the reason why I say that they are temporary is because when it comes to actually getting spiritual work, when it comes to actually getting healing work or money work or uncrossing work, those frequencies are meant to tide you over. Let's face it, you can't just sit and listen to frequencies all day. That would be impossible. So they're good, but then again, they're good for certain purposes. So as a practitioner that's been doing this for almost a decade, okay, I listen to those frequencies. You know what? They can sometimes help me charge a candle, or sometimes I may just want to listen to something in the background. But, a lot of the times I'll just listen to music. I like listening to the violin, the cello, and then sometimes I'll be sitting here doing certain rituals and work, and I'll be looking at a movie. I'm not even going to lie to you. But if it's an extreme case, there's a few that are my go-tos. Um, and I'm not saying that they're not good. The problem is that they're temporary. If you are only depending on those frequencies for your spiritual work, you're going to be lost. Yes, I do believe in the power of meditation. Absolutely. And I encourage you guys to do that. But for those of you that are looking for a cheap, quick way of either healing yourself or, like, uncrossing yourself or cleansing yourself or even balancing the chakras, because technically you are supposed to be able to balance your own chakras, just at will. It's so they can sometimes be a codependency, which is okay, because we all at some time need something to lean on. Okay. But they don't replace actual spiritual work. And I know that everybody's on a budget. However, at some point, when it becomes affordable, especially when it comes to self help and self care, sometimes it's good to just go to a trusted high priestess or spiritualist Because here's another one of them that I have an issue with. The ones that are supposed to scare off ghosts or get rid of bad spirits. Listen, the only surefire way of banishing a spirit is with either white salt, black salt, a flame, sulfur, or even certain herbs like sage. Another one would be pennyroyal, eucalyptus, mullein leaf. Okay. That's really the only surefire way of combating a spirit. Do I feel that spirits react to frequencies? Yes. What they'll do is probably go all off in the walls somewhere and hide, but it's not going to actually get it out of your house. Okay. So like I said, they're temporary and they're not as effective as actual spiritual work. And they cannot replace actual spiritual work and ritual. Okay. And I'm going to explain to y'all why. When you think about the mind, which the mind is everything, this is what those frequencies are going to affect, especially when you're trying to bring actual changes to yourself, to your life. The reason why we don't just sit here, witches, we don't just sit here and meditate. We use something physical: stones, bottles, jars, dirt, salt, candles, oils, is because these are things that are physically present on the earth. So technically, listening to frequencies, you're stuck as the Seven of Cups and you wonder why you're not manifesting. Um, it's almost like it's all in your head. It's not physical. So this is the reason why we use physical items to manifest physical things, even if it's just an image. For example, if you're manifesting money, we can use fake money, false money, pictures of money, coins to manifest money. Frequencies is not going to do that. It can help you depending on how advanced you are. But as far as like to replace spiritual work and to take that chance to where if you trying to keep your job or get a job, for example, um, there were several court case subliminals that came up in my homepage. I would never just listen to those court case subliminals alone. I would back it up with spiritual work. Now, I clicked on one of them and you could see a lot of people making comments. It was a whole bunch of comments. Please take all of that stuff with a grain of salt. I love YouTube. I do. I think it's a great place, but I also think that either people are not being 100% honest, or it could have been a situation to where they were supposed to get that anyway. So if you're somebody that's just depending on, there would be no way that I would run my spiritual business based upon frequencies alone and sound. There's no way. And they've got some really good ones. They're amazing. I am not saying that there's something wrong with them. I'm saying that you should not depend on that alone. For example, let's say that you need to heal yourself of something. I just recently had to heal this. I'm embarrassed to say this. It was something that I had to heal. Let me just put it like that. And I had put onions in my socks, and it kind of like it did something weird. And even though it alleviated, like that onion literally pulled whatever that was. that was out, right? It was like a like it was like dry skin, cracked skin or something. And so I looked at it and I said, wow, I said I need to do something else. So I wrote down a quick healing petition, burned it. The next day it was completely healed. Because what you're doing is you're taking something physical to manifest in the physical reality. Because I was actually afraid. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? And so you just want to be careful. Okay. Your mind does make up a lot of what is happening. Okay. However, they should be a supplement, not something you should solely depend on. If you are solely depending on frequencies, there's a problem. Okay. You know, traditional witchcraft stands alone. If you were to light a candle while listening to a frequency, and if you were to mute that frequency and listen closely, you're going to hear that candle. I don't know about y'all. I do have ears like a dog sometimes, and my sense, my ESP is on 1 million right now for some reason. I don't know if it's because this full moon coming up, but like them crickets outside, it sounds like I'm outside, and it's just so close. It's like wow. Okay, but you'll be able to hear it. You'll be able to hear that energy from that candle. And then also, you don't really know what is programmed into those frequencies. I've kind of gotten out of the habit of using them all the time. When I first started my practice, I used them a lot. I still do. There's a couple that I use all the time: the Native American flute with rain and the Native American flute with wolf instinct. Instinct. Otherwise, I may listen to some witchy music or music that is honoring a certain deity that I may be working with, but otherwise, there would be no way that I would ever depend on those frequencies solely and alone. For example, let's say that you're trying to heal yourself. You just recently went through a whole stressful situation and you just feel wretched in your heart and in your mind, and you just like, oh my God, oh God, please, and you're just like, feels like you have a bleeding heart, right? And you just sit and listen to frequencies. Yeah, it'll work, but first of all, it'll take forever. And it's a difference between just listening to a frequency and actually taking even just a little piece of paper. When we were in school, when we would fold a piece of paper in half and make a heart and cut the heart out, in the shape of the heart, it's the same thing. There's a difference between just listening to a frequency and having a piece of a tree, because paper is made out of trees. You take that paper, you write your intent on it, light a candle, you're going to have better and stronger and more lasting results. For some reason, people are afraid of witchcraft, but they're not afraid of these frequencies, which is pretty much the same thing. I don't understand this. I guess it just is what it is. I'm telling you guys what I know to be the truth about the situation. Okay. And so don't, like, I'm not saying don't use them. I'm saying be choosy about which ones that you use, right? But I'm saying don't just rely solely upon that. And I wouldn't rely solely upon just Reiki. Y'all know how many Reiki technicians or Reiki masters that I've done readings for that I've had to cleanse? A lot of them. Because a Reiki sound is not going to necessarily do the whole trick. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of Reiki people that are probably not happy with me saying that. Hey, I have to speak my truth on this and what I know and what probably a ton of other witches will tell you. However, there are some witches that will tell you if you've got long-term depression, witchcraft will not help you. I don't agree with that. So we all have our different thoughts and feelings and experiences when it comes to that. I've never been depressed long term. Never. So I wouldn't know how that feels, but I've had clients like that. And so I can't really get into that because of medical reasons, and I don't want nobody going, "Oh, I'm about to flag her. Oh, 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 I'm getting ready." Like, I ain't trying to get into trouble, but I'm just telling y'all what I know. Okay. And yes, sometimes in the world of witchcraft, things can get ugly. People make it ugly. Spirit does not do that. Spirit never does that. It's people and their judgment that causes this ugliness when it comes to witchcraft. Okay? So y'all remember that, because witchcraft is not the enemy. Fear is your enemy, not the craft. So, I mean, it's not going to be a situation to where it's going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to manifest long term." And see, frequencies and stuff, that's new age, which is great. I think it's a wonderful addition, but really, you know, for millions of years, we did what? We listened to drums, and, drums can have the same effect. Even musical instruments can have the same effect. And this has been, so I'm not discounting the effects of music, but you still have to have a physical manifestation of that intent, especially when it comes to, I need a job. I'm going to court for such and such and such. Uh, I'm doing this, anything that is important. And so anything that's important, I wouldn't just rely upon frequencies. And for some reason, my spirits wanted me to come and tell you guys that. I mean, you can take it however you want it. There's some people that would disagree with me. I guess we would have to just agree to disagree about what I'm saying. Um, but I also think that it's more so an indoctrinated belief that is not real. You have to understand that witches have been around since the beginning of time. And since the beginning of time, there have been certain rituals that witches have done that has done what's needed to be done. For example, fire will factually uh, get rid of a bad spirit. We know that, especially if you have or a bad situation. This is the reason why we burn our petitions when we're done with them. Okay. So frequencies and binaural beats is not a part of witchcraft, not necessarily, but it is a wonderful addition that I am grateful. Okay. Of course, I'm grateful for music and sound is wonderful. There's been times when, I felt a little under the weather, or either I've had a little bit of ear pain, and I've listened to the frequencies, and um, they do make you feel better. But I'll either have a eucalyptus salve, I make this chest rub that's made out of cinnamon, um, chili powder, and just oil and eucalyptus, crushed eucalyptus. And it's amazing for clearing up the lungs. Okay. You don't use those alone. Don't use the frequencies alone. There was another thing that I was going to say, but I lost it. Spirit, bring it back. It was something else I was going to say about. I lost it. I was just thinking about it, but I lost it. Y'all, I'm sorry. Maybe if I don't remember by the time I leave here, uh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. There will never not be a use for witches, aka women. And I'm not saying that there can't be male witches. They tend to sometimes do things a little bit different than women. And I don't compare myself to too many male witches, but you know, when it comes to healing, this is something that I am somewhat of an expert at. Okay. And you know, it's been something I've been doing for years. So I know what works. I know that you guys want to go the cheaper route. I get that. But you get what you pay for. And, you're getting temporary results with those frequencies that you should take it to a permanency. And this is the reason why things are up and down, up and down. People are so up and down. Because if you're somebody that has a spirit attachment and you listen to a frequency that is saying, hey, I'm going to get rid of this spirit, but the spirit is still there, then what are you doing? You're doing nothing. You're just wasting your time and your ears. Oh, that's what spirit wanted me to say. Thank you, spirit. Tinnitus is not always a message from the spirits. It is not always a message from your spirit, guys, to have tinnitus. That's another complete lie that's out there. Tinnitus is a sign of psychic attack and curses and a spirit. Typically, tinnitus is a sign of it. Now, it may be a sign from your spirit guides that's warning you to say, hey, there may be an invasion in your mind, body, and spirit. But tinnitus is not a sign of ascension. No, it may for some of you be that, but no, it's a warning sign. It's almost like a Morse code. People are just like, oh, this is good, this is great, but you don't really know what to do because did you divinate the situation? Did you have someone interpret that tinnitus? How long has it been happening? What are the circumstances that are happening in your life since it started happening? And if the circumstances are not good, volatile, or you're sick, something ain't right. Because y'all realize that spirits, they are very patient. Okay, they will hang around and linger around your space for months, sometimes even years, waiting to get in. So tinnitus is not. I'm sorry. I know that there's going to be people that are going to disagree with me. Y'all know I don't care about that. I have to tell y'all the truth. Does anybody have any questions about this before I go? Anybody? Sis, do you have questions? Mary, anybody? I really do hope that that people actually, and people do listen to what I'm saying. Okay. But I hope that people don't discount it just because I said it, because I just know that I'm telling you the truth. Okay. Hello, John. You can go back and listen to the playback. All right, y'all. I gotta go. I don't want to. I'm eating dinner kind of late. Okay. I don't want to be chomping in y'all ear. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up. Make sure that you share this live because it's good information for people to know. Okay. Thank you, John. I can't be live all the time now. Y'all gotta let me take a break sometime. Y'all gotta let me take a break. Okay. All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm sorry for smacking in y'all ear. Okay. I'll see y'all later. Blessings. Bye bye.